Next time you meet me in Gate City, check out Soul Sisters.
Wait. Oh, Cody Pope. I know Cody Pope.
Our friend is Cody and we not having a good day.
Musician.
Yeah.
What's up, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Cody Central tonight. Shout out to my brother Ryan for the first comment. If you guys are watching, drop a comment. Let us know what city and state you're watching from. Shout out to all my homies that are tuned in tonight. So we got a pretty exciting one on board. As you guys may or may not have caught wind, my guest for tonight unfortunately had to cancel. And so I was left to kind of figure something out. And so that's when we decided that we were going to try and do a live chat show. I'm going to have you guys ask the questions. I'm going to leave the Q&A open all night. I'm going to throw the best questions up on the screen. Shout out to my brother Ryan jumping in from Gate City. That's that New Hampshire shit right there. Shout out to the homie Jess tuning in from Windsor, Vermont. Much love. This is going to be a fun one tonight. So like I was saying, thank you guys for tuning in, whether it's your first time or you guys are here all the time. Always appreciated. If you have been coming through, like I said, this one's going to be a little different tonight, but we're going to have ourselves a good time. So thank you for sharing time with us, and let's lock in. Real quick, if you're watching from Facebook, will you please do me a favor and share this live stream to your feed and drop a comment and let us know where you're tuned in from. If you're tuned in from YouTube, please make sure to like and subscribe and drop a comment as well. We got Jill. Wow, Jill's coming in from New York City. What's up, Jill? Thank you for tuning in tonight. Really, really excited for this one. So yeah, let's see. What did Keith say? Me and Jennifer. Okay. Yeah. Sounds good. We'll see you there on Thursday. Doors are at 8 o'clock on Thursday for the show at Zoe's place. So check it out. We got Megan coming in from Nashua, New Hampshire. More Gate City homies. Appreciate you. So let's jump right into it. So my music of the week, I have 2 music choices for this week. Oh, hold on. What's this? My man Keith said, yes, thank you. Guys, that stuff helps so much. When you guys, if you're watching from Facebook and you share the feed, if you're watching from YouTube and you subscribe to the channel and like the video and all that kind of stuff, that stuff helps us in the algorithm huge. So I appreciate that. So yeah, let's get into some stuff here. What do you say? So music of the week. Oh, shout out to Joseph, who's up in here too. Much love, yo. Big Greek unit up in here tonight. So my music of the week this week, I picked 2 songs. My first one is Fee the Evolutionist. He just dropped a new song called Props, featuring Terminology, Brady Watt, and DJ Myth. So I may be super biased in this recommendation here, admittedly, because Fee is one of my good friends. But if you have an appreciation for classic hip hop, thoughtful lyricism, and verbal exercises, this is a joint for you. DJ Myth comes through with the timeless turntablism. Brady Watt leaves the track layered with a pump and bass line. Term and Fee both got the hard verses coming through, and they bring the different styles to the mix. So I had to put that one out there. Shout out to my brother Fee. And I wish I was drinking one right now, but cheers on the release of the Hybrid Theory Cold IPA, available now through Epigram Brewing. We had the pleasure of going to the release party this weekend, and it was so much fun. And I crushed 3 or 4 of those Hybrid Theories, and they were so good. Fee brought up a good point, man. We did. Me and Fee went down to Brady Watt's show in Boston last year, and to our surprise, Brady brought us up on stage to freestyle with the band. It was awesome. Which, if you're subscribed to us on YouTube, you can see that video. And Joe said, I was hammered. Bro, I know the feeling. That was a good one. Those Hybrid Theory cold IPAs were rocking. So make sure, if you're in the area, head to Epigram Brewery. Wow, I say that brewery, Epigram Brewery in Tingsboro, Mass. You can buy Hybrid Theory by the 4-pack in cans. So go there and support the homies. The Hybrid Theory boys were on our show a few episodes back, so you can watch that on the channel. And make sure you tune into their show every Tuesday night from 9 to 11 on Wave Radio Boston. So I did another music choice for this week as well. I didn't want you to think I only put the homies on, so I picked another choice as well. This is the song called Bird Scooter from De Niro Ferrar. De Niro is a really awesome MC from North Carolina. I've been a fan of De Niro for over a decade now. He has this incredibly thoughtful approach to his lyricism. He has this really like deep, soulful voice. It has like a Southern style and inflection. You put all that shit in a cauldron and you end up with this really relatable, humble, somebody with really important messages to share and the life experiences behind them so that you can feel the impact. It's like a really good balance of street rap and conscious rap and kind of bringing that world together. De Niro Ferrar's career has obviously had some highs and lows, much like a lot of us. And so having been a fan of his during what I would consider like his most exceptional run of releases in the years with less frequent output, it's really always exciting to see new music from De Niro, and he just keeps evolving and keeps getting better and more interesting. So make sure you guys check out Bird Scooter from De Niro Ferrar, and make sure you guys check out Props from Fee the Evolutionist featuring Terminology, Brady Watt, and DJ Meth. And, I'd be remiss to not talk about my favorite album of last year. So
My lace is tight enough for...
sorry guys, I had to. Appreciate the love. Much love, Fee. Just always trying to spread the word. All my artist friends know it's a hard grind out here. So appreciate all you guys that help me get the word out there. Ryan is right. Don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. That stuff helps us grow our YouTube channel. Big shout out to my brother Joey B. Yo, appreciate you guys having the Hybrid Theory event. Appreciate you guys always showing love to everything that I'm doing and the whole crew over here. It's always a Hybrid Theory Hellhound connection, without a doubt. And that friggin' beer just came out so good. I'm so stoked, so proud of you guys. So I can't tell you guys enough. When you're in the area, please, Epigram Brewery, Hybrid Theory. Get it while you can. I love that. I love everybody in the chats shouting each other out. I love this. We got a what up Joey B. We got a what up Fee. That's how it's going. We got a fire. That's my kind of night tonight. Hell yeah. All right, so let's jump into movies. So I'm going to be honest with you guys. I was not happy with the movies I watched this week. Oh, hold on. I got a question in the chat, so let's jump to that first. Megan said, what is your favorite song from the album? Whew. Man, that is such a tough choice, right? So the whole album has got 18 songs on it. So I have a bit of an affinity towards a lot of them, admittedly. But if you were going to make me pick one, the song I would pick would be Gratitude, which is the second to last song on the album. So I'll type that in the chat real quick. The reason I would pick Gratitude is because structurally it's different than what I would normally do, and sonically I really tried to take some risks, and I really tried to do some more singing kind of shit. And so the focus of the song is the singing parts rather than the rapping parts. Oh, thank you guys. I love Jess said that that's her favorite too. Fee said he loves Gratitude. Yeah, I just thank you guys. It means a lot, you know. I have a different connection with all of my music, but that is one of the songs I would put on like the list of the most challenging songs that I've made myself, because I'm not naturally a singer. I don't have like the training in singing like that. I come from like a punk and hardcore background, so to execute a vocal like that was something that really took me a lot of work, and I was just really stoked on. So that would definitely be my favorite joint from Giant Steps in Gate City. Thank you for asking me that. And also, what is your guys' favorite songs from the album if you've heard it yet? Let me know in the comments. So like I was saying before though, I watched a couple movies this week, and I kept getting let down. And so I have like a newer movie and an older movie that both let me down. So I'm going to just read you what I wrote about them on my Letterboxd reviews. And I wonder if you guys have seen them too. Oh, damn. My brother Ryan, you always getting me emotional, bro. Thank you. He said, the hard work paid off. Pope, you know how I feel about your singing voice. I'm trying, bro. Ryan was there. So Ryan's been down in the dirt for a long time. The first song that I ever sang on was from an album that I put out that a lot of people haven't heard. It's called Every Blessing Has Its Price. And there's a song on there called In Pieces of Master, to play on a masterpiece. And so one of my best friends had passed away before getting to work on that album. And when I heard the music, it just like, it felt like soundtracking the chapters that we were supposed to have, and it soundtracked the story of us like not getting to that chapter. And so that album, Every Blessing Has Its Price, was already a big deal for me because it was what I thought was going to be like my first album. You know, I had just done a bunch of mixtapes to that point, and this was like a full body of work of 20 songs, and that song was one of the ones that I really like pushed myself to do differently. And ever since doing that, I've tried every couple of years to refine that singing voice that I found and really try and implement that into more music. And you'll notice that with like Let It Grow. Let It Grow was another one that like took a long time to really hone that singing part in. But now that we're doing it more and more, it's like a tool that I can use a lot more. So just know that I may not do a lot of singing, but I've been working on it for a long time. Every Blessing Has Its Price was 2014. So 10 years of practicing how to sing. And yeah, so that was really cool. So yeah, movie of the week. So like I was saying, I got really disappointed in all my movie choices this week, and such is life sometimes, but maybe I can save you guys from a less than stellar movie experience, or maybe you guys can offer me some insight if you've seen either of these. So first one, my new one, is I watched Blink twice. It came out in 2024, is directed by Zoe Kravitz. It stars Channing Tatum and a bunch of other fucking popular people. So honestly, this really was, I would say, a fresh facelift on a really kind of popular or played out cinema trope. The whole like bringing people to an island in the middle of nowhere with no phone kind of thing. But the way that they did it was like pretty interesting. It was really fun to keep turning the corners with the characters. You were just constantly having to figure out what was going to happen to who, and you know, just do almost like playing Clue, where it's like, oh, I bet this person, blah blah blah. And so it's not a perfect movie by any means, but I can definitely see why people would enjoy this one. I just think it would have been more fun to see in theaters, perhaps. I didn't have high expectations anyways, so it was just kind of like a flat ride, but I ended up giving it 3 stars. It wasn't like anything bad, it just wasn't anything really great. The next one, I was a little more disappointed about. Um, so the next movie was Fading Gigolo, which came out in 2013, which is directed by and stars John Turturro, which, if you're familiar with like the Big Lebowski, he is the Jesus in the Big Lebowski. And he's in a lot of other like Coen Brothers works and just other movies in general. So I went into this with mixed emotions right off the rip. I'm a big Coen Brothers fan. John Turturro, who I discovered from Coen Brothers movies, is generally great in anything I've seen him in. However, generally great isn't perfect. One thing that happened recently, as an example of a not perfect John Turturro move, is he acquired the rights to direct a movie of his Jesus character from the Big Lebowski. Coen Brothers had no involvement in it. It kind of came and went. I don't get the impression anybody cared about it. I've been really trepid about seeing it because there was nothing about it that just like needed to happen. But nevertheless, I'm getting off track. The other reason I was weary going into this movie is because it also stars Woody Allen. I know for like cinema heads, people revere Woody Allen's works, and rightfully so. However, with his uncomfortable and irresponsible legacy, I'll call it, I've personally never ventured into a lot of Woody Allen movies. But because it was a John Turturro movie and he happened to star in it, I just was kind of there. So, so Woody Allen stars in it. John Turturro is the lead actor and director. So that's why I decided to take a chance. And boy, was this a letdown. I don't want to say too much, but the dialogue was funny. For this kind of a movie, this like sort of rom-comish movie for indie drama kind of thing. The dialogue was pretty funny. Woody Allen did actually make me chuckle a few times, but the character that Turturro wrote for himself is just so silly. It felt really sad and desperate at times, knowing that he like wrote this for himself. And so, to be fair, it just wasn't the kind of movie that I would normally watch, anyways. I just went into it with higher hopes because of all the people that were involved, and it just missed the mark, and it ended really cheaply. So, not a strong movie, but maybe a Sunday afternoon if you need something to nap to. I gave it 2.5 stars personally. I wish I could have given it more, but such is life. But like I always say, if you guys want to talk more about movies, if you want to know more of the movies I'm watching, movies I'm reviewing, movies that I'm excited to watch, anything like that, I implore you to check me out on Letterboxd. And here's a little more about that. So yeah, I love Letterboxd because I can get a little more in depth with the reviews, and you just find a lot of movies there too. Honestly, there's like directors and actors and people that work in the film industry, and they'll make lists of things they're watching and things that inspired whatever movie they're making. So it's really fun if you're on it. Oh, Ryan said, "Nice segue." Thank you, man. Trying to get my video stuff sharpened. And I'm honestly just trying to figure out how to make the show more interesting. So I just am going to keep trying stuff like that. So if you guys think that stuff is cool, let me know. I am always, yeah. So everybody's favorite part of the week, event listings. I'm going to give you guys a bunch of shit that you can do to get out of your house, go travel, do something fun, and see some really cool stuff. This Wednesday, January 29th, our last episode guests, New England comedians Danny P. and Andrew McGinnis, are going to be performing at the Sawtooth Kitchen in Hanover, New Hampshire at 8 p.m. This Thursday, as I've mentioned throughout the night, our good friends, the Wave Generators from New York City, Nah Really from New Jersey, and yours truly, Cody Pope and Byron G., are going to be performing at Zoe's Place in downtown Nashua, right on Main Street. It's a free show. We're trying to support our homies that are on tour. So we're hoping people will just donate money to them and buy merch and stuff. Wave Generators is this really awesome hip hop duo. It features Nosage from New Kingdom and Hype Keach, who you might know from Cold Rhymes Records. They do this really cool, it's like a punk inspired, almost like Run DMC hybrid. It's just really, really cool, very classic energy with like a punk rock aesthetic to it. Really, really dope stuff. It's going to be a great show, and that would be a huge thing if you guys could come out and support that. It's 8 o'clock, Zoe's Place, Nashua, right off Main Street. Shout out to Jess, who said she's hoping to make it. I'm hoping you can make it too. It's going to be a fun one. It's going to be the first Cody and Byron show of 2025 too. So it'll be exciting to see what's in store. Saturday, February 1st, the Queen City Black Market is going down at the Henry J. Sweeney Post in Manchester, New Hampshire. It's a goth hardcore alternative vendor fair and craft market. So there's going to be all sorts of cool stuff going on there. Keith said, "Did you know about earthquake today?" I did. I was actually at home working on stuff for the show, and my entire apartment just started shaking, and the stuff hanging off the walls was bouncing around. So yeah, it was pretty crazy. So you got the Queen City Black Market on Saturday, and also on Saturday you have Burn Kit, Snake Lips, and Honey Wave performing at Auspicious Brew in Dover, New Hampshire. So this is like a really cool, it's like like post-punk, almost like new wave inspired. It's like really soulful energy kind of music. Burn Kit is really cool, based in New Hampshire. Shout out to Tino. They just got done touring a ton of Europe, and I think they might have even gone to other parts of the world as well. They were gone for a few months. So it's really cool that they're back here. That's going to be a great one. Sunday, February 2nd, Master Killa of Wu-Tang Clan is going to be performing at Wally's at Hampton Beach, New Hampshire. I believe there's still tickets for that. And I always say it's really important for us, especially if you're in New Hampshire or New England, when you get these big artists like this come into your state, that's typically not like a hip hop market. It's so important for us to go out and support them, because we need to encourage and foster these places that are making the sacrifice to bring these artists through. I always mention the Shaskeen in this too. Shaskeen has continued to bring some of the most influential hip hop artists of all eras through Little Manchester, New Hampshire, in their little 150 person room. And you end up having an experience you would never have anywhere else. And so when people like that are coming through, make sure you support. Big shout out to Rap Night. That's right. Monday, February 3rd, legendary crossover thrash metal band Municipal Waste is going to be performing at Geno's in Portland, Maine. If you're into thrash metal, hopefully you already know about Municipal Waste. Hopefully you already know about the boogie boards. It's going to be a crazy time. So make your way up there. I've been able to play Geno's before. It's a really dope spot. So shout out to all the Portland heads. Saturday, February 15th, legendary emo and indie rock artists Get Up Kids are doing 25 years of Something to Write Home About at Aura in Portland, Maine. Get Up Kids has been a band that's been super important since I was in like junior high. I remember seeing them at like the Middle East. And so it's really cool that all these years later, they're celebrating such an important record. Wednesday, February 19th, Haywire is going to be performing at the River Grange in Concord, New Hampshire. Haywire is hands down one of Boston hardcore's most active working bands right now, constantly touring, constantly putting on shows in Boston, constantly releasing records. This band is one of the most active bands out right now, so you definitely want to go and support them while they're able to be hitting the road so much. Friday, February 21st, New York Underground's own legendary Ill Bill and DJ Eclipse are going to be performing at Jewel in Manchester, New Hampshire. And I would love to be on this show. So if anybody knows who's booking this, tell them that Cody Pope and Byron G should be on the show, because we opened for nonfiction last year, and I've opened for nonfiction and Ill Bill before, and it's always a great time. And so shout out to all of them. But that's going to be an awesome show anyways, honestly. So I'm just being a dickhead. But Saturday, February 22nd, Merrimack Valley hardcore metalcore legends In Remembrance are going to be performing at the Shaskeen in Manchester, New Hampshire as well. Wednesday, February 26th, previous guest Andrew McGinnis is going to be performing at Bards on the Rocks in Manchester, New Hampshire. That is the poetry open mic renaissance kind of night that has been going on in Manchester for a while now. Myself and Byron got to perform at that recently. Jeremiah, who runs Bards on the Rocks, was actually going to be my guest tonight, but unfortunately he wasn't able to make it. But that's actually where I met Andrew the first time, and he had me laughing so hard that I was probably louder than most of the people in the room. And so that's what turned out this cool friendship. And yeah, last show I have on here is for Saturday, April 11th. Legendary hardcore punk rock and roll California's own Sabretooth Zombie is going to be performing live at Ralph's. I know Colin of Arabia is on the bill. Peace Test is on the bill. Tickets are moving fast, so that's going to be a crazy show. And that is that. If you want your event listed in the future, just do me a favor and send an email to codycentralshow@gmail.com. Let me know what the show is. Send me the flyer, whatever. And if it sounds like something that I would be into, I will definitely be plugging it on the show. And we always have space on the show to promote different things. So let me just take a moment to tell you about that. All right, let's get into it, gang. You guys will have to tell me too. So I know, so my camera is right here, but my computer's right here. My notes are right here. And then I have a screen right here to check everything. So sometimes I'll be like thinking that I'm looking, but I'm really looking at the screen. So I don't know if anybody gets weirded out by that, but I don't know. We'll figure this out as we go, right? I think I showed you guys my setup before. It's a little funky in here, but we're trying new things all the time. So as I had mentioned, I had a guest booked for a long time, and they unfortunately had some things come up and couldn't make it to the program anymore. And I've had this happen before. And last time I was really lucky to get a guest the same day that I needed. And I did the research, wrote the interview questions. We pulled the whole thing off. It was great. But it just didn't feel wholly fair to the artist. It didn't feel fair to you guys or the show, the catalog of the show that I'm trying to build. And so rather than like reach out to somebody last minute and half-ass do an interview or something like that, or pull somebody on who doesn't have something that they want to talk about yet, I decided that hopefully you guys will help me dictate the show tonight. What I wanted to do is the chat is officially open as a Q&A. Any questions that you guys ask me, I'm going to pull my favorite ones and throw them up on the screen. You guys can pretty much ask me about whatever you want. Yeah, ask music, movies, me and my life, song lyrics, upcoming guests on the show, crazy shit, stories, whatever you guys want to hear. Yeah, so Q&A is officially open all night. The other thing that I wanted to throw out that I mentioned is I'm down to review some music tonight. I know as an artist, it's hard to get feedback on your work sometimes. And let's face it, all of us as artists love some new attention and spotlight when we can get it. So if you're an artist in here and you want to drop a YouTube or a Spotify link, I will check it out and give you my reaction, and I'll literally watch it right here. I don't know if I can play the songs on the feed. So I was thinking what I'll do is either put in headphones or I'll listen to them on a device or something. And then I can kind of tell you guys how I'm feeling and give you my review. I do have a unreleased song from an artist that is going to premiere tonight that I will play on here because it's not out yet. So I can't get slapped for it. Nice. Ryan said, how have your experiences been with running these streams now that you have several under your belt? So I definitely feel a lot more confident in what I'm doing. I have a good little setup here. I showed it off in the IG live earlier, but basically, so I have a webcam attached to like a mic mount and my mic as well, which you can see here. Then I have my laptop. I have a monitor over here that I have all my show notes on. And then I'll usually have like a muted like feed of the show on the TV above me. And so I'm still figuring all of this out as I go. But because I'm only doing the show once a week, in the days in between the shows, I'm really learning new stuff. Like those little videos that I put in today, I just like figured out today how to do those. And so I made them and inputted them in here and scheduled in my show notes when I wanted to have certain videos play. And so I'm really enjoying it. The thing that's tough, honestly, is so far it's been the guests. And not that the guests have been difficult, but it's like technical things where sometimes a guest will be on like AirPods or something and their voice will cut out, or they don't have a good mic or a good camera or something like that. And then it's like things that are kind of out of my control. So we'll have like an amazing conversation, but maybe the audio or video quality isn't the clearest. And even my camera, like this is just a $25 webcam that I got on Amazon. That's like moderately better than the webcam on my laptop, but still not that crazy. So I definitely, it's one of those things where I feel more confident every week that I do it, but I also learn a lot more. And I realize how far behind the 8 ball I am each week too. But I'm really lucky that the show has been going well for the most part. And the team that I have here at Hellhound is really supportive of the show as well. And so everybody's really starting to put more efforts into how we can kind of build out the studio here and improve on the show. And we're going to do some more ancillary stuff on Patreon too. Some of the people on Patreon reached out and asked about Hellhound Film Club, which was an old podcast that we had started, but it wasn't a video podcast. It was only audio. And so it didn't really like pick up steam like that. But a couple people reached out and they were like, dude, you should do that again and blah, blah, blah. So now that we have this like video platform to use, we're going to start doing stuff on Patreon like Hellhound Film Club, where I'll just pick specific movies and chat with people about these movies and why I think they're interesting and stuff like that. And we're going to do some extra interview stuff over there as well. But yeah, all of that just comes from the confidence I've gained from figuring all this shit out. It's been really fun. It's been vastly different than when I like had the podcast lounge at our old studio. And I'm just really learning how to harness the power of video content, because I was very much an audio guy for a long time. And video really is the way. YouTube really is the way. Like I've acquired so much stuff from YouTube. I've learned so much stuff from YouTube. And so I really like being involved in this community. Yeah, so that's that. Sorry for dragging that out so much. But yeah. Okay. So next thing I wanted to throw out as well, I think I kind of started to get, I did get into this. Sorry if I'm repeating myself. But basically, if you guys have music that you want to share, post a YouTube or a Spotify link in the chat and I will pull it up and listen to it and I'll let you know what I think. Speaking of, Ryan caught me off guard with the running these streams thing, so I missed my cue. But I got one more little thing to share with you guys, just as a reminder to please like, subscribe, and comment on the channel. See, they're not like too annoying, right? I'm trying to hype myself up and hope that one day somebody will sponsor the podcast. And so I'm going to have to do ad breaks for the sponsors. And so some of these things are kind of like me practicing like where to do the ad breaks and how to transition into them and stuff like that. So the show is going to be as good as you guys tell me it is. You know, if this one sucks, tell me and we'll make the next one better. But that's why I keep trying new things. We do have really good crowd tuned in tonight, so thank you for that. I'm really happy to say that we actually have more people on YouTube than Facebook, which I think is a first, which I'm really grateful for everybody that's tuned in, no matter where you're tuned in from. But as I mentioned, we're really trying to grow our YouTube foundation, and so there's a lot of benchmarks that you have to meet. You have to have a certain number of subscribers. You have to have a certain number of watch hours. And so that's one of the big reasons why getting your support on YouTube is so important, because the sooner that we hit those benchmarks, the sooner that we're capable of monetizing and then eventually growing our channel. One thing that I wanted to mention is, I know I brought it up a couple times, but this Thursday, January 30th, our friends Wave Generators, they're a punk and hip hop inspired group out of New York City. They are on tour with Nah Really, who's a MC and beat maker from New Jersey, and their tour is making a stop in Nashua, New Hampshire. Thank you. They reached out to us and we reached out to Zoes. So the homies reached out, asked if we could help with a show. We kind of struggled to find a venue. We had a few ups and downs. And then at one point we had thought we had a venue, but then we didn't know if they were going to be through. And then, so eventually we finally made it happen. For those of you guys who don't know, which I think most of you guys probably do, but my team and I, we have our own events and booking company called Done Booking. So this show is going to be the first collaboration between Done Booking and Zoe's Place in downtown Nashua. We reached out because we eat there all the time, but we also heard that they have DJs and like dance nights and stuff like that. So to our surprise, I emailed the owner, and within like 30 minutes, he emailed us back and was super enthusiastic. Anything that we needed to let us know. And like I said, we've eaten at this place numerous times, and I kid you not, it is the best super beef I've had in Nashua, one of the best around. The rest of the menu is great too. They got sandwiches and subs and pizzas and all this kind of stuff. And there's a bar, so if you drink, you can go and have some drinks as well. And so this is going to be a really cool spot for this show. It's going to be a really special show, having these guys out here from New York that don't get to come out very often. And like I said, it's the first Cody and Byron show of 2025. So if you guys are able to make it out, it's a free show. All we're asking is just to donate to the touring artists if you're capable of doing so. But even if you can't, just come and hang out and support. It's going to be a great night. Get some food at Zoe's. Come and hang out with us. It's going to be really, really fun. It's our first time collaborating with Zoe's, like I mentioned. So we obviously want to make a good impression so that we can hopefully go back there in the future and do some bigger stuff. So all of you guys' support on that would be huge, huge, huge. And so, yeah, that was one of the big things that I wanted to talk to you guys about tonight. It's wild. I can't believe it's already been 40 minutes. It's crazy. Thank you guys so much for helping me make this thing. Yeah, see, Keith knows. He said it's the best roast beef in town. It really is, dude. And admittedly, like, Nashua didn't have a ton of great beef spots. There used to be Panos in Hudson back in the day. That's been closed for years now. Family roast beef is always good. Maplewood has a beef as well. But man, Zoe's super beef is like par none. I've gone out of my way to try as many as I can, and Zoe's is really like a notch above the rest. The only ones that I would say are better than Zoe's right now, and I know it's going to sound biased as hell, but I've gone out of my way to try them, is Chef Adam Jumptown. Jump has the best super beef that I've had, like point blank, but Zoe's is definitely up there in that like top 3, top 5 for sure. Now, granted, I'm not like a North Shore Beefs fucking administrator, and I haven't been to nearly as many places as people that are a lot more fluent in the beef culture than me. But as a guy who's been eating super beefs for damn near 15 plus years, I tell you, Zoe's is incredible. And I'm getting hungry just thinking about it, honestly. Oh gosh. Yeah. So yeah, that's what I got going on. We got some really cool episodes coming up in the next few weeks as well. So speaking of bomb ass food, next week my guest is going to be Chef Paul Doobie, who you've probably heard me rant about Doobie's Wings. Doobie's Wings does pop-ups with Jumptown's Test Kitchen a lot. Paul Doobie is some of the best wings in New England, hands down. Yo, it's true. Shout out to Scott, Mr. Burns. Few things I've noticed since moving down here. You guys are serious about your roast beef. It's true. In New Hampshire, it's not as much of a thing, but in Massachusetts, especially in the North Shore, there's like an entire North Shore beef culture, and places get like stickers put on their window if they're like North Shore beef approved. It's a whole thing. It's crazy. So I definitely don't have that level of experience, but it's definitely, yeah, it's some shit out here for sure. And that's why Zoe's place in Nashua having a comparable roast beef is such a big deal in that realm, because New Hampshire usually never has the same level of shit as the Massachusetts players. Big shout out to Mr. Burns, man. I'm glad that you're living in my area now, ish. Close enough. If you guys know anything about Vermont hip hop, you know that Mr. Burns is one of the most important pieces of the Vermont hip hop culture. It's a big reason I ever was able to go and perform in Vermont as often as I have. And he's just a great musician and a great fucking guy. So that's that. Yeah, so leaving the Q&A open for a little bit. If you guys have any other questions, in the meantime, I'm going to take a rip. Sorry. Actually, I have a question for you guys I'm kind of interested about. So, with all of this, oh, okay, hold on. Keith said, Jersey Mike's on Amherst Street, Nashua. I honestly have not been there, but I would be willing to check it out, Keith. I typically don't often put on for chain spots because they can typically do well enough for themselves. But sometimes these franchises, you get some real wholesome people that run a franchise, and they do it a little differently than the other spots around you, and maybe it's got a different energy. So I would check that out as well. Man, this food chat's gonna drive me fucking wild. I'm so hungry, which I shouldn't be, but I am. It doesn't stop. So next week on the show, like I was saying, we got Chef Paul Doobie on the show. We talking about Doobie's wings. If you guys want the heads up, please go follow Doobie's Wings on Instagram. Anytime that he has like a pop-up event or anything like that, Instagram is usually where he posts it first. And I kid you not, some of the best wings, straight up. Yeah, Joey knows. Greek Unit knows what's up. A few zoots off the pen and thinking about food. Whew. Another thing coming. So next week we got Chef Paul Doobie. The week after that, we got Adam Gouveia, who is Spike Pit Studios. He's a visual artist. He did the Hellhound logo. He did the Howling Man cover. He's done a ton of work. He's done all of M.Dot's album covers. You've probably seen his work somewhere. So I'm excited to have I'm excited to have Gooba on the show so we can talk about all the different art stuff that he's been doing. Keith said, go try to book at Martha's Exchange. Yo, you know what's funny about that, right? So I've been fortunate to go to most of the shows that have happened around me. One show that I didn't get to go to was Smoke DZA and Brady Watt played upstairs at Martha's Exchange. And it looked like it was one of the most fun nights ever. And I was so bummed that I missed it. But I haven't heard of too many shows happening there otherwise. So I don't know how open to it they would be, but that would be a cool spot. So it would definitely be worth checking out. That was a cool suggestion. So shout out to Keith. So we're going to have Spike Pit in the studio. We're going to have Paul Doobie in the studio. I got my brother Dez the Trainer in the studio, aka Dez the Baker. Dez is a MC and also a fitness trainer. And if you ever want to look like a Greek god, he will help you get to that point. He'll help you with nutrition, exercise, physical recovery, any of that kind of stuff. So I'm really excited to have him on the show so we can talk about kind of his love for hip hop and doing rhyming and playing shows and stuff like that, but then also his pursuit of physical training and exercise and how that's like shaped his life and all the stuff that's going on. We got some really cool episodes coming up in March as well. I got the band Price of Fear. They're going to be mostly here in the studio with us. My friends Ryan Basil and Johnny Cured are in that band, as well as some other great musicians as well. They're a new like hardcore band that is going to be coming out of this area. Their demo is going to be out in late March or April. Later on in March, we're going to have Graphic Melee in the studio as well. Graphic Melee is a musician from Portland, Maine. He's a MC, he's a beat maker, he's a DJ, and he's also a hip hop historian and studies the culture and studies historical facts and implements those into his live show. So we're going to be we got some really exciting stuff coming up. We got guests kind of lined up over the next few months, and we're going to keep it going, hopefully. But yeah, that's pretty much what I got for you guys tonight. Sorry I couldn't stretch it out and go longer. I was hoping you guys might have some more questions for me, but nevertheless, this has honestly been pretty fun tonight, and we had a lot more people kind of popped in and out than usual, with a lot of new faces tonight. So shout out to everybody that came and rocked with us. As I just mentioned, we've got a ton of crazy interviews lined up for the next few months. So hopefully you guys will come back. We're here every Monday at 8 o'clock live on YouTube. We're also streaming on Facebook for a little bit as well. But as we mentioned, we're really trying to convert everybody over to YouTube and help us grow that following. If you don't already subscribe on YouTube, man, we have over 200 videos on our channel. We've got full-length documentaries, short micro documentaries, concert footage. We've got other podcasts besides mine. You can watch a season plus of Drum Machine Vibes. Byron G does live streams on our channel. You can watch him make beats live. There's all sorts of stuff on the channel. So as soon as you're done this show, go right back on the Hellhound YouTube channel, click videos, and just go through. There's so much stuff. There's lyric videos, there's interviews, there's radio performances. There's so much stuff on there that you'll have shit to watch for the rest of the year. Shout out my man Joe. Joe knows the fucking vibes. So yeah, thank you guys so much for real. I appreciate everybody who tuned in tonight. This was a ton of fun. As I mentioned, hopefully you guys caught all the events earlier. Hopefully next week we have some better movies to review. I'm going to try and make it a point to watch some good movies this week because both those movies sucked that we watched earlier. So, yeah, I'm going to definitely do some homework this week. We got an awesome episode lined up next week, and maybe if I'm lucky, we'll eat some wings here in the studio because Paul's going to be here in the studio. It's been a while since we've had an in-studio interview, and I've learned a lot since doing my first one, which, if you guys tuned in, was pretty haphazard. My first in-studio interview, my laptop died in the middle of the show while the guest was here. So that was really fun. But that's why we've ramped up the studio setup a bit more. And let's all pray that we get some wings next week. I'll leave it open for like another like 30 seconds or so if anybody's got anything they want to plug. Oh, you know what? I'm sorry, guys. I was hoping I was going to see him jump in the chat. I haven't seen him tonight, but the artist who sent me music, let me see if he's here. He sent me an unreleased song to premiere for. I haven't even listened to it yet. So he was like, dude, you can play this on the show. It won't get copyright striked or anything like that because it's not released yet. And so I told him I would give him a live reaction on it. Let's see if he's here though. Maybe I'll just play it anyways. You guys, let me know in the comments if you guys want to hear some music. If you guys want to hear an unreleased song, I'll let this rip because he wanted to have it playing off in here. Yeah. Joe said bump that. All right. I'm going to see. It's also my first time playing music on the show, so hopefully this works how it's supposed to. I got to play it from my email, so give me a second here, gang. Bluntsworth, I hope you see this, bro. Yeah, just said hell yes. Maybe if this works, I'll play some shit for you guys too. I got a couple in the can, you know. Let's see if this works. Tell me if you guys hear this in a second. Hold on. Is that playing for you guys like regularly? Some people have said yes, and some people said no. Shit. All right, let's see. Here's what I'm gonna do. Let me see if I can share my screen. If that does it. All right, let's try this. Let me know if it's playing anything now.
Yeah, he's not cute.
Inside is pretty.
He's not cute. Stepper, you've been missing out. That's right. I'm fixing to get it here right now. Yeah, this one for the blunkey, headed for the breaks, ex romance junkies. This one for the dance hall, get it with your hands, y'all turn love when you run into me. You know how I'm stepping, they don't even know how much shit get a step in fucking with me. You know how I'm stepping, 6 feet deep, if it gotta be like that. You are here, oh, I am found, I am weapon, I am typing, I am a yo, goddamn hype. Drum action, spit it right line, give a drum a suck, just on the bass strike. That's the one. Step up. He's not cute.
Okay, Bluntsworth. I was digging that. That was pretty wild. It had some cool vibes to it. Definitely brought me a couple places. What were you guys feeling about that one, chat? Shout out to Bluntsworth for letting us premiere that one tonight. If you guys oh, Scott said hi. Tell Scott I said what's up. Much love, Scott. What is it? I'll go. Okay, so I'm gonna pull up his Instagram right now. So his name is Bluntsworth. Sorry if that's hard to see. Bluntsworth MC on Instagram. But I'll also type his name in the chat. Yeah. So yeah, what'd you guys think of that? Seems like Keith was digging it. Thought that was pretty cool. Yo, I like that. Fee said unhinged. I could definitely see that. Yeah, it's pretty wild. I like how it has like a very like tribal feel to it, where it's just like this like heavy outdoor drumming face paint, like just has like a real different kind of vibe to it for sure. See, this is what I was hoping. I was hoping more people were going to send in music and we would play it and talk about it, but we didn't get that lucky tonight. But maybe we'll do this more because it would be cool. That's right. Fee said he was in the top 10 New England countdown with Cody Pope and Hybrid. So if you guys missed that, Hybrid Theory invited me onto their show and asked me to curate a list of my 10 favorite New England hip hop releases from 2024. And so I wrote a list and I wrote little reasons about why I picked each one. They had me on the show to narrate them. They played the songs while we were talking about them. And it was really dope. It was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. You guys should definitely go back and listen to that episode. But if anybody is interested, I will just tell them what my songs were. Damn, thank you so much, Fee. I appreciate that, bro. We definitely got to do something again for sure. Hopefully in April, hopefully in like April or May, Byron and I will have a new EP ready. We've been working on some new songs. But yeah, so if you guys want to know my list of 2024 favorite New England music releases, I'll actually put them here. And by the way, these aren't ranked. I have them numbered so that I could count to 10, but they're not ranked 1 to whatever. These were just the songs that I liked the most that came out last year. So the first one was Latrell James's Pinky and Brain, sorry. If you've roamed in my orbit through the years, you know that I love Latrell and I love his music, and you can actually see his face behind me from when I booked him years and years ago. The next joint that I put on here, and I'm putting these all in the chat so that you guys can listen to them when you get tired of listening to Giant Steps for the 900th time, hopefully. Oh, I'm so dumb. I have a keyboard for my computer up there, so that's why I wasn't typing. The next one that I had on here was Still Gold, Don't Look Back. This was a really dope song as well. Still Gold is a group that myself and many others have been really fortunate to see kind of evolve from inception. Now they're at a level of magnitude today that is just like unparalleled to what any of us thought, and they just keep pushing the musical boundaries a lot. So big shout outs to them. The next track that I had on my list was Rent's Due by Everett Gibbons. Everett Gibbons is a dear friend of mine and somebody that I just think is like a super interesting artist and somebody who brings a very cool approach to the music that he's doing. So big ups to Evan. The next song that I had on my list was Demons by Berserk. This is a really cool, grimy, gritty rap song. Berserk's another dear friend of mine as well, also part of the group Il Supreme and the founder of Supreme Corpse Records. He's just always working on shit, and this was a really dope single that he slid through last year. The next song that I had on my list was, sorry, trying to type faster than I can talk. I had Rex. He had a song called Timbo Bootlacing, which featured Superstar Snuck. That was just an awesome back and forth joint. Next joint that I had on here was Unexpected by M. Dot featuring Big Shug. M. Dot, another dear friend and one of the hardest working artists I've ever met. He's such an inspiration. Next joint is Meant by Subtext, which also has a verse from Homeboy Sandman, Tease, and King Khan Shamanic. And then why we are doing this list right now is because I had Bluntsworth, whose song I just played. I had a song that he put out last year called Be Cool that it's really different, as you can imagine, but just really it had these really dope reminded me a lot of Kamutao. That was like the first thing that came to mind when I heard it. It was just like this really high energy. I almost want to say like carnival energy in the best, in the most complimentary way, where it was just like very bright colors sonically and like a very creepy energy aesthetically. All right, feed. That's the episode. Hopefully it is clickable. I hope so too. I don't see it, but maybe you guys do. And then the last song I had on my list was from Giles from Van Buren Records, "Live Like This." So yeah, so those are some joints to check out. Check out the episode. Fee posted the link in the YouTube chat. I will share that with you guys afterwards somehow too. But yeah, we did a really cool breakdown on each song and why we chose it. And what was some of your guys' favorite songs from last year? Don't even have to be hip hop songs. I love that. Fee said, "You exposed me and others who listen to all this great music." And that's why we do this, right? Like, like none of us got into being musicians because we thought it was like going to make us cool. Most of us sat at home and like read liner notes from our CDs or, whatever the case was. And that's how we were finding people. And so I think it's cool to have a platform where I can share new music with people, because it's like, as you guys have probably figured out, music and movies are a big part of my life. And so I love having this platform to talk to people about that shit and share that shit with people. Right? Because the way sorry, I was responding. I didn't show you guys. So Fee said, I probably knew 3 or 4 songs off the list, and now some of them are my favorite songs or artists. And I think that just has a lot to do with our music consumption, where people distribute and consume music at such a rapid rate that seldom do we take things and sit on them for a long enough time to really process them. And I think that has a lot to do with the way that we digest the stuff that we get, because things used to come out from our favorite artists and it was an important moment. Now there's so much shit happening all the time that it's like, yeah, well, you should be putting shit out. That's the expectation. And so we're in a weird space where we've accepted the digestion of our culture, but we don't have a means to create more appreciation or more anticipation for it even. It's obviously something that I know many of us are trying to work on, but I wouldn't be out here bringing up my own shit every 5 seconds if things worked the way they should and all the people that wanted to hear it did. That's what's tough. Is I know you guys go through the same thing where you might have 1,000 or 2,000 followers, and it's like, dude, if those people alone could get my message and know that I have a record out, that would be astronomical help. It's like, it's not even reaching the people that it's supposed to reach. And so that's why I always say word of mouth is the most important thing, because your favorite artist can post about their song 10 times and it might not show up on your feed 9 or 10 of those times. But if one of your friends is telling you to listen to some shit, I guarantee that you'll likely check it out, or at least remember that they recommended that to you. What do you guys think? Yeah, man, Bluntsworth. I was hoping you were going to be in here tonight, dog. You guys have been really cool though, and I appreciate everybody that's been rocking out with us. Do you guys want to hear one more song before we depart tonight? Let me know in the comments real quick. And I'm going to see if I can queue up a demo. I said in some of my posts earlier that I might share some stuff if there's Oh, I just did it again. I keep typing on the wrong fucking keyboard. He said, yes, one more song. Okay. Let me see. I'm trying to see which ones I have, like, unmixed bound. Okay. Whew, okay. So I'm going to play a song from, so I have a project that I've been working on for a couple of years now. I was really lucky to meet a musician from Maine whose name is Suede Breaks. And he sent me a pack of music, and come to find out, he is like a classically trained musician, and he's a music teacher at a school. And so the music that he gave me, he played every instrument on the record. It's not just like beats programmed on a keyboard. He really like composed this stuff and recorded it and played it. And so that's part of why I've been sitting on it for so many years, is because I'm really trying to figure out the right way to put it all together and to do a live piece with it. But these are really cool songs. And so, you guys will be the ones to hear them. But I'm going to warn you guys that this stuff is not mixed, as you'll see in my folder called Unmixed Bounces. I'm going to play. All right, chat. Do you want to hear a more soulful one or a more rapidy one? First comment I see, that's what I'm going with. Don't all jump too fast. All right. Yo, shout out to James. I didn't know you were in here. Much love, bro. Man. Oh, my dog. I miss you. Yeah, come through the new Hellhound compound soon. All right. So you guys heard the story on that joint. This little rapidy rap one. Hopefully this project is going to come out this year. Like I said, we just got to find a time where we can get the whole band together to like rehearse these songs, because he actually like found people that would play the music for us live. And okay, Ryan said soulful, so you know what, maybe I'll show you guys two of them. I'll play the rappy one first, and you guys can let me know how you feel. So this stuff's unmixed, but like I said, hopefully it's going to come out this year, and if not, you guys can enjoy it. This one is called Solitary Jazz.
I'm too smooth for these rap cats. You talking about snapbacks and dad hats. I'm more Mad Max, that's facts. Don't ask Pat, come ask me. Freak up in these rhymes, they call me nasty. Last week, my rhyme's still colder than Pat's Peak. I blast streets with passionate fast speech on Ash Street, Divine Street, divine beats, all mine to eat. Rap so damn hard, I might just die on a beat. To die on the street would have been honest to me. Just a guy on the streets, he could survive with a piece. Buy him some beats, Doug Funny, buy him some beats. Grow him a garden and supply him a feast. Hear myself talk, I could sneak this in the stash. Maybe I could turn it to mountains of legal cash. Or maybe I'll just spend it on weed, pizza, and hash. Always doing something for your piece of the math. I'm too smooth in the groove, no way I could lose. Flow in the pocket, can't stop it, rocking like blues. You choose what you gon' choose, go for the cruise. Put the pedal to the metal, don't need pedals and metals, dude. Too smooth in the groove, no way I could lose. Flow in the pocket, can't stop it, rocking like blues. You choose what you gon' choose, go for the cruise. Put the pedal to the metal, don't need pedals and metals, dude. I'm a cauldron of Calvin Hobbes and Al Simmons. Some days flying rockets, some days mild and timid. Cool like jazz after the Second World War. But my soul bebop, wrecking a glass door. What more you ask for? My soul spilled on the floor. Made records they ain't make, #1 in store. What for? Cause they didn't back the hometown. The same one who stood for what they know now. Grown proud of accomplishments that I made. Not the most played, but I'm getting my pay. Dues paid way earlier than my bills, though. Ain't play my record, but wanna come through and chill, though. Last week, they was rapping on a pill flow. Sound stupid, sound softer than a pillow. Chase pussy, you couldn't find clit or willow. I know for now, one day, everyone will go. Too smooth in the groove, no way I could lose. Flow in the pocket, can't stop it, rocking like blues. You choose what you gon' choose, go for the cruise. Put the pedal to the metal, don't need pedals and metals, dude. Too smooth in the groove, no way I could lose. Flow in the pocket, can't stop it, rocking like blues. You choose what you gon' choose, go for the cruise. Put the pedal to the metal, don't need pedals and metals, dude. We don't need to move the way you move. No, sir. So what you got to win if you ain't got to lose?
Ooh, okay. I like that. Thank you. So yeah, it's like, a little different than what people know me for, or even the stuff that me and Byron do. And so I'm really excited about it. Having the band play. Oh, thank you, Joey. Appreciate you, bro. Yeah, so it's gonna be crazy. We're gonna have a 6-piece band playing that shit with us when we play it live, and Byron's gonna be up there with us too. That's like another thing that we're working into the show, is like how we can have him kind of like trigger and back me up and do some shit while the band is still rocking too. So a lot of big stuff. That's just one of a few different projects that we got lined up this year. Byron and I have our 3rd EP. Yo, I love it. So Ryan here said, gives me a bebop shampoo vibe, which leads me to announce that the next EP that me and Byron have coming out is the 3rd EP in our series that started with Pound of Flesh and Renaissance Park. The 3rd EP is called He Who Smells of Sunflowers. And so if you're a Samurai Champloo head, that one is for you. Appreciate all my anime heads up in the spot. So this is gonna be a big one. We actually were, if you guys watched the Giant Steps documentary, which you can find on our YouTube channel, we actually talked about that record briefly, and the fact that we started recording that record here where I'm at now, and we just like weren't feeling it. And that's when we made the decision to go to Boston and record with Mertz. And when we went down there and started listening through the songs that we were going to work on, we ended up putting the EP on hold and doing Giant Steps. And so we've had the songs for Sunflowers for a long time now. We work weird. That's just what we do. I'll play one more for you guys though, because my man Ryan wanted to hear this little soulful joint. So if any of you guys were at the first time that we performed at the Holiday Stroll when we were on the main stage, we actually played this song that night. and we've like snuck it into our sets every so often. This one is called Pendulum.
Life is a pendulum.
No. Are you serious?
Shit. Hold on.
Come on. Alright, take 37. Go.
Alright, I got it this time. Life is a pendulum, swinging through maturity. My responsibilities always trying to hurry me. Life is a pendulum, between wishing I was young and being okay with old. Just not being broken dumb. Never gave up Batman, anime, and skateboards. Just didn't ever do enough to get paid more or save more. Always thinking about getting laid more. Still buying weed, like what I even get paid for. I still love my Roger Rabbit and my Dragon Ball Z. I just don't love it when the debt collectors call me. Still watch Mask of the Phantasm yearly. But now in my old age, I'm the only one who fear me. Used to send shivers up the spines of mere mortals who thought I came here from spaceship or portal. Now they look at me like their classmate's uncle. People surprised I'm not at the bar drunk still. Never grew up in terms of thinking what's ahead of me. Thought I'd have made it by now, at least living steadily. Hopeless romantic, thinking rapping I will tie the knot. And I won't need a job, I'll write my raps and be high on pot. I think that a lot. Then I grab some comics. Or I grab the bong and I'm off like a rocket. My arsenal of bars, I always try to stock it. The madness in me, I have not a way to stop it. They pay these young kids who dance bad and sing worse. Pay me a fraction, I'll start lapping words like ringworm. Don't need a lot in life, just a small apartment. I just need some gas and weed to make sure I'm not starving, cause life is a pendulum, swinging through maturity. My responsibilities always trying to hurry me. Life is a pendulum, between wishing I was young and being okay with old. Just not being broken dumb.
So yeah, that was another little unreleased joint that I recorded a couple years back. Thank you, man. Much love, Ryan. Always appreciate you, bro. Yeah, man, we got a ton of stuff in the can though. That's the thing. I think I'm just like, my thing that I've learned over the years is record something today and have the courage to sit on it sometimes, because you should be able to go back to that thing 6 months, a year, however long, and it should still be as dope or better than when you dropped it. You know, going back to what we were talking about earlier, our methods of consumption and digestion of music are so rapid that we don't think about making timeless stuff. There's a reason, you know, people like to talk about nostalgia and nostalgia bait and that kind of shit. But it's like, why are people nostalgic? Because oftentimes either the quality was better or the intent was more meaningful or the barrier to entry was higher, or, you know, whatever the case was. You know, it's oftentimes there's a reason we long for the past. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that as a society or a generation or whatever, we struggle to hold value and praise on newer things that come out because we're just So we have so much shit coming at us all the time that it's not that special. But it used to take a band a couple years to make a record. So you embraced that one record and listened to it over and over and over again because it didn't get worse. You didn't get sick of it. It was just always good and always there when you needed it. And I don't know, music's in a weird space naturally. So I always like to challenge myself, at least in the sense that I'm not always putting shit out, but I'm almost always making shit. And a lot of that is because even like Meet Me in Gate City is a prime example. It came out in 2022, but some of the songs that were on it had been written long before even the pandemic was a thing, you know? Like it was just a matter of right time, right place, finding the right beat. Sometimes I'll have the song written before I ever find an instrumental or whatever, you know? It's like situations arise, but I just like encourage my artist friends not to feel like everything, not to rush everything because you feel like there's like a gun to your head. I get that we're in a time sensitive space in art. And so I understand always wanting to have something out, but also like be able to prioritize the things that are the most meaningful and make sure you like keep those on ice until you're ready. I don't know. That's just what I think. That's my 2 cents. We still got some people hanging out here. Hell yeah. It's funny, man. I was almost gonna wrap this thing up earlier, but then I remembered that I needed to do the Bluntsworth song, and now I've just been even having so much more fun sharing these songs with you and telling stories and shooting the shit and hearing what you guys think about stuff. And had time for my brother James to pop in, who I haven't been able to catch up with in a long time. Yeah, man, this was dope. But I also don't want to bore you guys either. So let me know what you guys are feeling. I still got music. I can share some music. I'll listen to some more music if you guys want to send some shit, like I was saying. We got some crazy episodes coming up. Like I said, next Tuesday. Next Tuesday. What am I talking about? Next Monday's episode features Chef Paul Doobie. He's going to be here live in the studio. The week after that, we're going to have Adam Gouveia of Spike Pit Studios, also the guy who created the Hellhound Publishing logo and the Howling Man artwork for a lot of M.Dot's albums, and a ton more. We're going to have Des the Baker in here soon. We're going to have Price of Fear in here soon. We're going to have Graphic Melee in here soon, and a lot more to announce. I love it. Ryan said, unstructured epic episode, man. Thank you. That was exactly what it was. I wrote the most bare minimum notes I could. That's right. Fee said, Des the Baker. That's that Gate City right there. Hell yeah. Graphic Melee. All right, gang. This has been a great night. Thank you guys so much to everybody that has tuned in. Appreciate you guys helping make this what it is. As always, please like, subscribe, comment, the whole jazz. And remember, we have a ton of really cool videos on the Hellhound Publishing YouTube channel. Like I said, there's documentaries, there's short micro docs, there's posts, there's show footage, there's interviews, there's other podcasts, all sorts of stuff. So please check it out. Hit that up. Go listen to Giant Steps in Gate City everywhere that you listen to music. And yeah, let's have a great night. Much love to everybody that tuned in. Much love, James. Appreciate you, bro. Definitely send me everything you got. I'm trying to promote your shows. I'm trying to listen to your records in my car, the whole nine. So shout out to Keith. Thank you, Keith. I'm glad. I appreciate you hanging out and rocking with us. Ryan said it best. Make sure you guys drop that like. And yeah, so hopefully we'll see you guys next week. We got a really fun one in store next week. Really excited to see what's going down. And yeah, much love, everybody. Preach. Cody here. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Cody Central. If you'd like to support the show and help me keep this thing afloat, please check out some of the options below. Thank you so much for supporting, and as always, subscribe, like, and comment.
Okay.